Thank you to my roommate for holding my camera. Okay. So, Mirror's Edge Catalyst here. Um, Absolutely loving the game, loving the storyline. I'm probably going to get some gameplay up later this week. Hopefully, maybe, probably. I don't know. We'll see. Um, anyhow, um, I like playing this game with a controller, even though it plays a little bit more easily with keyboard and mouse. I'm lazy and I like sitting back. That said, I have my Xbox One Elite controller. This game does not have native support for the Xbox One controller, although it does support 360 pads. So I'm using a little tool on the internet. Google for it. It's like X360 CE or something, and it allows me to morph whatever controller I want and make the game think it's a 360 pad. So I'm using that, and I've used that with other games that ironically support the 360 controller and don't support Xbox One for some reason. Um, that said, I'm using that and having no issues except for the fact that this game has some very weird controls, just as with the last one. It maps the up and down actions on the same side of the controller, which is just feels kind of awkward. Um, what is nice is this controller does have trigger shifters, since it is the Elite version, which turns these into buttons more so than the normal triggers. Um, this is very nice, very handy, although it doesn't allow it to work properly inside the menus. Through here, it would not normally function properly. With that said, um, I'm using a few tools to make that work properly. Now, again, back to these awkward controls. For whatever reason, their only alternative puts your up and down actions over here, where you need to be using the right thumbstick and the up and down actions simultaneously. So I'm not even sure how that would make any sense. Who would use that? Why would they use that? It's terrible. Um, Enough said. It would make more sense to have your up action and down actions on on both triggers. Um, but the game doesn't support remapping these. In key bindings, it only supports keyboard and mouse remapping. So I almost lost hope when I realized I'm using the Xbox 360 controller. I can remap my controller. So guys, I don't know if this will help anybody who's been playing Mirror's Edge, but here is my control layout, what I decided to do. LT is still mapped to LT, but the three other controls over here I remapped, and then I just mirrored them for the triggers on the back. I just gave them the same. Although I might modify that to be LT, RT, and RB, LB to make the menus more easy to navigate. With that said, I made the triggers I limited to 50% so that when I push them, the game sees it as being 100% so that I don't have to turn off my trigger shifters for the menus to function properly. That was one of the first things I did. Second thing I did is I remapped LB over to RT, so now my triggers are my up action and down action. I also remapped then RB over to here, so when you knock a door open or whatever, I press here. If you're doing a wall jump, you're running up against a wall and jumping back off of it, that's over here. So the motion for that is RT, LB, RT. Makes it nice and smooth. RT, right bumper, I remapped to the right trigger. So, I'm sorry, that's door bash. And LB is your RB, so you're jumping off walls and stuff. But your door bash and whatnot is over here. Most of the time you're going to be using that when you're running and in motion, and you're not going to be jumping at the same time. So I figured that was a good one to put over there. Whereas the launch off of wall or whatever, you're not going to usually be doing when you're doing a down action. Usually you're doing an up action, so I mapped it over to that side. In essence, what that allows me to do is use both of my fingers for the up and down actions, which creates a lot more fluid movement and doesn't overstress my left fingers. That said, I've been playing with this for a little while, and I really like this config, so hopefully it helps somebody. If y'all haven't checked out this game, totally check it out.